The universe's privileged insights are simple toys as well as instruments of huge power. One of the most disturbing worries related with the LHC's examinations is the probability of making a scaled-down black hole. Black holes are locales of spacetime where gravity is so solid that not even light can get away from. They are vast vacuum cleaners, devourers of stars, mysterious substances that hide in the shadows of our universe. The thought that the LHC could make such an entity, even on an infinitesimal scale, is stunning for the overall population and specialists the same. Might this black hole at any point develop wildly, gulping the Earth from inside? However, researchers at CERN have guaranteed that any black hole created would be unstable and dissipate almost immediately, anticipated by Stephen Hawking's hypothesis of Hawking radiation. The simple plausibility has touched off debates, fears, and a feeling of wonder at the power we employ. Understanding how the LHC is significant could make a black hole when protons are crushed together at almost the speed of light. The energy delivered is so massive that it twists the texture of spacetime itself. Envision a trampoline stretched rigid and afterward a significant burden dropped onto it. The texture twists, bends, and assuming the weight is weighty enough, it could make a downturn so profound that anything close by would be brought into it. That is an oversimplified similitude for what could occur in the LHC. In the realm of quantum physical science, where the principles of the universe are both peculiar and lovely, there exists a hypothesis that extra aspects might be concealed inside our reality. Assuming these aspects exist, the LHC's impacts could take advantage of them, making a gravitational pipe that structures a minute black hole. This mysterious dance of particles has gotten the consideration of some widely popular researchers, particularly the late Stephen Hawking. In his book, A Concise History of Time, he cautioned of a situation where the Higgs boson could become shaky at very high energy levels. This shakiness could prompt a disastrous vacuum rot, a grandiose occasion that wouldn't as it were obliterate the Earth, but the whole universe itself. Sir Martin Rees, the regarded English cosmologist and astrophysicist, likewise communicated concerns about the examinations led at CERN. In his book on What's in Store, Possibilities for Mankind, he investigated the possible dangers related with atom smasher tests, including those at CERN. His words were not just preventative. They were touched with a feeling of existential fear. He discussed a most dire outcome imaginable where a doomed examination could make a condition called vacuum instability. This shakiness could in hypothesis trigger a stage change that would echo through the actual texture of spacetime, resulting in an infinite catastrophe. Rees' interests were not restricted to hypothetical thoughts. He doled out a likelihood to these horrendous results, but a low one. However, even a microscopic possibility, he contended, ought to give us stop. The stakes are impossibly high, and the edge for mistake is razor slim. The researchers at CERN have determined the probabilities, run the recreations, and look at the hypotheses to contend for the well-being of the LHC. As a matter of fact, Brian Cox himself recognized the significance of dependable investigation, perceiving the far-reaching fears and concerns encompassing the exercises of the LHC. He underlined that there are thorough well-being estimates set up, broad audits, and protocols that guarantee the LHC's operations are conducted with absolute attention to detail. Cox consoled that the energies included are well within what the Earth normally experiences, and the possibilities of creating a stable black hole are cosmically low. Regardless of whether one were made, scientists say it would be so minuscule and so unstable that it would dissipate instantly of energy, a peculiarity anticipated by Stephen Hawking known as Hawking radiation. It would be a momentary glimpse of infinite miracle, a brief look into the pit and afterward gone. Some have gone further, speculating that the LHC's tests could open a doorway to another universe. However, this idea is generally dismissed by the academic local area. It has caught the creative mind of numerous and has turned into a subject of curiosity, fear, and even old stories. What lies beyond our existence? Might we at any point release powers or substances that we don't comprehend? The thought of opening an entrance to damnation has even been sensationalized in different media, fanning the fire of vulnerability. Yet, how did this thought come to be, and what's the significance here in the setting of logical investigation? The idea of equal aspects isn't new in material science. String hypothesis, a main competitor for a brought-together hypothesis of everything, places that there might be more than the natural three elements of space and one of time. These extra aspects could be compactified or stowed away from our insight. However, they could hypothetically be gotten to or uncovered under outrageous circumstances. Now envision the LHC as an enormous key opening entryways that have been sealed since the earliest days of recorded history. When protons crash at energies at no other time achieved on Earth, they could in principle make waves or tears in the texture of spacetime. These tears could open pathways to aspects beyond our own, like cracks in an enormous wall that isolates us from the obscure. The results would be like dropping a stone into a totally quiet lake. The effect makes swells, waves that spread out, interfacing with all that they contact. With regards to the LHC, those waves could be aggravations in the aspects themselves, waves that spread out into domains we can't see or fathom. Researchers at CERN are quick to bring up that the energies expected to make such a passage are possible a long ways beyond what the LHC can accomplish. Opening a passage to another aspect remains immovably in the domain of science fiction. However, the very reality that we can consider such potential outcomes, that we can investigate the limits of our understanding and peer into the pit of the obscure, is a demonstration of the power of human interest and creativity. For the researchers at CERN, it fills in as a quiet cautioning that a few entryways, once opened, may uncover insights we are not ready to face. The LHC's trials have not just raised logical and philosophical questions but lawful and moral ones as well. The actual demonstration of reproducing the states of the universe's introduction to the world, of venturing into the early stage soup of presence and mixing it with our mechanical spoons, has touched off discusses that rise above the limits of science. Are we playing God? Are we stepping on consecrated ground, intruding with powers that were once the sole region of the universe? These are not simply logical questions but profoundly agitating requests that challenge our very comprehension of morals and obligation. The creation of a scaled-down black hole, for example, isn't simply a logical interest but a potential Pandora's crate, a whirlpool sucking all that into its unpreventable handle. However, on a grandiose scale, some legitimate researchers and ethicists have questioned whether humankind has the privilege to take such dangers. Even chasing knowledge. Misfortune suits have been documented, looking to stop the LHC's tests, referring to worries about well-being and the potential for disastrous results. The discussions rage on, not simply in courts but in the corridors of the scholarly community, in the media, and around supper tables. In 2008, a claim was documented in Hawaii by Walter L. Wagner and L. Sancho, who tried to stop the LHC's activities. They argued that the collider could produce planet-eating-up black holes or other concealed peculiarities that could destroy not just the Earth but the whole universe. The claim demanded an impermanent limiting request against CERN, fighting that the association had neglected to give an environmental impact explanation as expected by U.S. regulation. However, the case was excused. It touched off a firestorm of banter and brought the LHC's true capacity, gambles into sharp concentration. Across the Atlantic in Germany, an educator named Otto Rossler documented an objection with the European Court of Basic Freedoms, charging that the LHC disregarded the right to life guaranteed by the European Show on Basic Freedoms. Rossler's interests were established in the trepidation that the LHC would be able to make infinitesimal black holes that could develop wildly. Although both claims were fruitless, they shaped part of a more extensive movement of concern and distrust surrounding the LHC. They mirrored a firmly established tension about the obscure, a trepidation that our quest for information could lead us down a path from which there is no return. Despite these concerns and legal challenges, the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, continues to operate under stringent safety protocols and oversight by the scientific community. Its experiments are not just about unlocking fundamental mysteries but also about pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and understanding. In the shadow of Geneva, underneath the Earth's surface lies a wonder of human inventiveness and an expected harbinger of destruction. The enormous Hadron Collider. It is a signal of logical investigation, permitting researchers to look into the subatomic world and, finally, prompting the disclosure of the perplexing God particle. Quite a while back, however, presently prestigious physicist Brian Cox has as of late made a chilling declaration that sent shock waves all through the logical local area. Something disturbing has been recognized at CERN, something that could have outcomes far beyond our understanding. Has our mission for information set us on a crash course with disaster? Go along with us as we dive into the pit of this logical conundrum. However, before we plunge into the declaration, understanding what is significant molecule gas pedals are the Huge Hadron Collider, LHC, worked by CERN, is a 17M ring of superconducting magnets and the world's biggest and most powerful atom smasher. It presents the apex of human logical accomplishment. As a matter of fact, it's so strong that it can reproduce the very states of the universe's introduction to the world. Yet, could this machine intended to open the privileged insights of the universe hold the key to something undeniably more inauspicious? CERN, established in 1954, is one of the world's most lofty examination associations with 23 part states and a large number of researchers. The LHC is CERN's lead project, yet it's only one piece of a tremendous organization of gas pedals and tests. Envision a course, yet not really for vehicles or ponies. This track is for subatomic particles, a test of skill and endurance and space itself. The LHC speeds up protons to almost the speed of light, sending them on an impact course that impersonates the energy of the universe at the hour of the enormous bang. The impacts make temperatures multiple times more sultry than the center of the sun. Large number of magnets guide the protons on their excursion, while complicated cooling frameworks keep the magnets at temperatures colder than space. These incorporate 1232 dipole magnets which twist the beams and 392 quadrupole magnets which center the beams. Just before impact, one more sort of magnet is utilized to crush the particles closer together to build the possibilities of impacts. The assignment of making them impact is much the same as terminating two needles 6 millimeters separated with such accuracy that they meet. Mostly, the innovation required is marveled. The LHC's plan is a wonder of designing. It comprises of two nearby equal beam lines lying secret 574 feet underneath the surface, safeguarded from the world's radiation. In this underground world, the whole framework is cooled to a temperature of -456.04. Inside the LHC, protons are made to crash at 4 areas around the gas pedal ring relating to the places of 4 molecule finders: Atlas, CMS, ALICE, and LHCb. Each serves a special reason, investigating distinctive parts of molecule physical science. Together, they go about as enormous cameras catching previews of these crashes. Researchers then filter through the garbage, searching for indications of the slippery Higgs boson, otherwise called the God particle, and other peculiarities essential to the universe's principal building blocks. By examining the microcosm, we gain experiences into the cosmos. However, with each answer comes a new inquiry, and with each disclosure, a new test. The LHC isn't simply a logical instrument. It's a confirmation to human interest and advancement. It epitomizes our tireless quest for information and our craving to comprehend the key powers that shape our universe. Yet, as we push the limits of what we realize, we should likewise consider the moral and existential inquiries that emerge. What are the dangers of examining the obscure? Could our quest for seeing incidentally open powers we have no control over? In the blessed halls of CERN, where the limits of human comprehension are continually pushed, a disclosure has emerged that sends a shudder down the spine of even the most prepared researchers. Brian Cox, a previous physicist at CERN and a voice of expert in the realm of molecule physical science, has as of late made a declaration that has left the world both intrigued and unfortunate. Cox's words reverberate with tormenting clarity. The objective of CERN's Large Hadron Collider is to reproduce a small Big Bang. Yes, you heard that right. A small rendition of the very occasion that brought forth our universe. The physicist additionally happened to make sense of the ramifications of this objective, featuring the LHC's exceptional potential for making new disclosures. This incorporates its capacity to open the mysteries of the Higgs boson and the investigation of dark matter, a mysterious substance that makes up a critical piece of the universe. Envision holding the force of creation in your grasp, the capacity to invoke the actual substance of the universe. It is an enticing prospect, however one full of risk. The smaller-than-expected Big Bang isn't simply a hypothetical idea. It is a substantial reality inside the LHC. The temperatures, the tensions, the crude energy all copy the condition of the universe's earliest stages. It's like remaining at the very beginning, seeing the introduction of presence itself. Yet, with such power comes liability, and the question poses a potential threat. Consider the possibility that something turns out badly. Truth be told, something went frightfully off base back in 1978. The Russian physicist Anat Bugorsky encountered a debacle that would perpetually modify the course of his life. Dead in 1978, Bugorsky was dealing with the U-70 synchrotron at the Organization for High-Energy Physics in Proino, Russia, when a breakdown prompted a devastating mishap. His head coincidentally came into the immediate way of a proton shaft with a power that resisted perception. The pillar passed through his skull, entering at the back of his head and leaving through his nose. Bugorsky's experience was extraordinary. He saw a glimmer brighter than 1,000 suns but had no problem. The bar's way left a trail of annihilation, consuming tissue and bone. Yet incredibly, Bugorsky remained cognizant and, surprisingly, strolled to the center for treatment. The repercussions were both stunning and captivating. The pillar's way caused restricted tissue passing, prompting the deficiency of hearing in one ear and incomplete facial loss of motion. However, Bugorsky's scholarly capacity stayed intact, and he proceeded with his logical vocation. This occurrence isn't simply an individual misfortune, yet a preventative tale that highlights the enormous power and potential risk of particle gas pedals. The risks of a particle gas pedal like the LHC are not to be trifled with. The potential for unexpected reactions, the control of the actual texture of existence. These are not the stuff of science fiction but genuine worries voiced by some in the academic local area.